Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all you fine folks out there. Oh, yeah, all you usual suspects. Good to have everybody in there. Oh, let's see. Oh, there he is. Oh, good to see the thumbs down people are here. Good to have you there. Hope you're doing well, even if you have a sad life. Let's do an audio check on this. Make sure we're good. Let's see. All right, it should be around 20 seconds delay on this. We'll see what happens. Oh, there it is. Okay. We be working. We be jamming. What's going on, everyone? Oh, yeah. Okay, we don't have that in there, which is good. It's good to see all you fine folks in there. Oh, yeah. Corey Core's in there. Renee's in there. Derek Balmo is in there. Oh, yeah, everybody's in there. Let's see, Pete Ferrero's in there, and Valerian, the Mac 3's in there. Daniel Lee, what's going on? Dean Brazil's in there. Mr. John Beck. Eric Bauer, oh, yeah. Kevin Beatty's in there, what's going on? Mimi Reacts, what's happening? How are you? David Clark. Oh, yeah. We're all in it this evening. Les Sweet is in there. Let me see, what is this one here? Let me move up. Move back down. What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you in there. Josh D's in there. John Pollitt is in there. John, you were saying that it's cold and wet in West UK. Man, wish I could say the same. Well, it's not too bad here. It's still pretty warm. It's about 88. Heat index is about 93. 56% humidity or humidity. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Juxta Billy's in there. Everybody's wondering, going, man, what's with the early edition? Well, I actually have an event I got to go to. I'm going to probably get off this around 5:30ish. And they have what they call a hunger fight. I don't know if you have them in your areas, but it's to support local churches and, place where, people can get a meal and stuff like that, hot meals and stuff. So where I work is doing that. We're going to have wrestling and all kinds of stuff going on. And so we're going to go there and we're going to have a good time this evening. And we're going to check it out and just have a great time. And again, it's for a good cause to help out people, that are hungry and stuff like that. So I'm always down with that. I'm glad to help if I can and just enjoy the evening there, right? So I figured I'd get in there in about an hour and a half and just chill out whatever you find folks and talk about the cool stuff that might be going on. I was just looking at one of the comments saying that, what's up with the Pentagon? Where's the report at? Yeah, I haven't heard about it. Have you guys? I don't know. I'm not sure. I have not seen it either. James Vavrick, you said, then Chris was shocked so many were here. Well, this is the reason why I actually put it on earlier, like 20 minutes of, maybe 15 till, where, people will say, oh, he's live. And it'll give everybody a chance to actually jump on. So that's why I did it. Besides, I like to usually do, around 15 or 10 minutes till, so everybody can just jump in anyway. So I figured I'd do a little bit earlier. And this way, I think everybody will agree. They probably can, they'll actually go to bed early and won't have to be up until, well, some of you guys go to bed at what, 1? Depending on where you're at, right? So I can understand that. So I figured I'd do that just for today and jump right in there anyway, because I wanted to it's still a Friday evening, right? I wanted to, my time anyway, early evening. I wanted to still get in there and spend some time with you fine folks, even though I have to do something, but still. So I figured jump in there and see what's going on. I'm going to jump all the way down here. Hope everybody's fine. What's been everybody doing there? Some of you guys are talking about the weather and stuff like that. Again, it's pretty warm here. Not too shabby, I guess. I don't think, let me see here. I don't think it's going to... I don't think it's going to rain here. Check the old weather app here, see what we got here. Well, knowing the weather around here, it's probably snow tomorrow. So, let's have a look. Oh, yeah. No, but there's a whole lot of it up in the Great Lakes in Canada, that's for darn sure. There's a whole lot of that going on, I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, it's moving right up from the Great Lakes into Canada. Man, well, nothing here, though. That's good. That is sweet. So you guys can see the screen. Sunset above Jezero Crater. Am I the only one that thinks that, wow, that sun is awfully large and with barely any sunlight on the ground? Now, you could say, well, it's being filtered by the dust in the air. I just find it hard to believe. I don't think there's dust in the air at all times on Mars. I just don't believe that. Hence the reason why you can see blue sky at times, and then sometimes you can't, right? So I find it a little odd that it's supposed to be, obviously it's a lot further from the sun than Earth is, and yet look at the size of the sun. Again, you can still have like more of like, if it's directly, the camera's looking directly, and you can have kind of like a sun flare to make it larger than it really is, right? So, but still, regardless, right? It just looks awfully large. Oh, let's see. Moonder 06, Skywatcher, Bonjour de France. What's going on? Good to see you in there. I think it's been a while since you've been in there, huh? Moonder 6? But did you really, Mooner? Let's see. Cloudy with a chance of UFOs is in there. Hey, Chris and chat. Hope everyone is good. We are good here. Cloudy with a chance of UFOs. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know, Tony. I was just reading yours too. You said, okay, hey, everyone, early here. They keep saying that the UFO info is coming out. Then they keep changing, albeit they have admitted there might be something to it. You think? Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I still say that many of these may be ours. Now, does that mean we built them from scratch? Or did we get them from maybe crashed UFOs and reverse engineered? I believe that has happened. But I mean, I think a lot of this is like, remember I did the video where I showed the older UFOs? They look like tin cans, clunky, riveted together. That's why I don't believe it's anything from out there, at least those in the sky. Now, when you look at the Tic Tac UFOs such as that, is it because our technology came a lot further and the way it is today, we got like super technology and this is what we have now? Or is it something from out there? See, that's the question, right? Weird. I don't know. What do you guys think? Still think maybe there's maybe half and half? You on the fence about that? Or do you think there's like some of them that are ours and some of them that are not? Or do you believe, it's all ours and, I look at it this way. I don't care either way. I'll tell you why. And I think I said this before. I look at it like this. Let's say nothing's ever come to this planet. That's still equally exciting because we're building something that we can now go out into and see other planets and moons and everything else. So either way you look at it, we're seeing things, whether it be our closest satellite, which is our moon, or other planets and moons, we get to see that. So we're still like getting out into the neighborhood, seeing what's going on, right? So I think it's equally cool, regardless of the fact if somebody's coming here, or it's all our spacecraft and we're just building them and then stepping out, taking the next step out into space. Either way, we're like coming out, looking around like children just started to walk and we're starting to check this stuff out. I think it's awesome. I truly do. Jay McGuffey, what's happening? Ty, Chris, Renee, Mimi, Joss, A&C, Noodles, James. Yeah, hello to everybody there. All y'all, Mars Anomalies and beyond, 100%. Just doing fajitas, so maybe intermittent. Believe me, I feel you. I just literally came out from outside and doing some things on the outside, doing the lawn and stuff like that. And I decided, well, let me hit the showers real quick, and then jumped in here. What was that? Doctor Disclosure. Exactly one of the signs we was looking for. UFOs declassified. 3-hour live coverage. Let me just see what that's all about, folks. Oh, let's see. All right, so this is exactly one of the signs we're looking for. 3-hour UFO declassified, I'm sorry. 3-hour live cover-up of UAP report to air simultaneously on Disney Channel, Travel Channel, and Science Channel on June 30th. Okay? This is just coming from Twitter. So, yeah. Promo, and then it has a UFO declassified live. So, yeah. This person put on a 3-hour live coverage. That's definitely intriguing. But anyway, you guys got the information here first. You can check that out if you do have any of those. Science channels, Discovery Channel and Travel Channel and Science Channel on June 30th. 3-hour live. What? So, yeah, that ought to be interesting. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm not going to say I'm going to get my hopes up, but there's pretty huge gamble unless they know something. This person put, have they forgotten the lessons of Al Capone's vaults? Does this mean the report is June 30th, 100 days from January 1st, and not June 25th? Was one in the same thing? That's what they're saying anyway. Let me see. Hope for the best, prepare for the mundane SOS. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah, pretty interesting. So that just literally just popped up on Twitter itself, and that's from Dr. Disclosure. So, yeah. We can check that out, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, the way I look at it is, I think there's a combination of both, but I also believe the photos I showed you of the UFOs, those were ours. And we were designing those and trying to put them together. And of course, you're going to have them crash because they're not 100%. They're like in beta form, so to speak. So you know as well as I do, a lot of these could have been ours. And we just got so sophisticated. Keep in mind, we were messing around with anti-gravitics back in the late 40s. God only knows what they've got now and how perfected it is now, right? So, like I said, your thoughts on this, guys? I'm just wondering, right? Yeah, Tony, you said 2 weeks ago it was the 20th. Now it's the 30th. Good catch, Chris. 3 hours of it? That's what they're saying. I'll just be curious to see how that works out because, I definitely want to check that out myself. If I'm saying 3 hours, it's one thing to have like a little newscast, like, talking about how, this is going on and we're going to release a couple of these declassified items, but yet now it's 3 hours of it? So is it the Pentagon talking and a couple other important people? So that'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see that. Noodles, you said 8 sightings, day, night, near, far. One was a CE5, close encounter 5, or whatever. Yeah. No answers yet. One truth, we are not alone. Probably never were. Back to the pool setup. Well, here's the funny part. When you look at this here, this was one of Hubble's photos. I think it was a photo of the week, which I think is really, really cool. And again, this is like it's like cutting a hole in the bottom of a cup, right? And looking through that tiny hole, this little mini hole. That's what Hubble's seeing. Look at all these galaxies and spirals and, you can see what looks like solar systems. And this is one little tiny pinhole in the sky, so to speak, compared to what's out there. And yet we're the only living things ever out there, folks. That's it. Be all, end all. Come on. Everybody knows this. Come on. This is silliness. Let me go ahead and make this a little smaller so you guys can see this. Just the amount of, actually, I'll leave it like this here and just do this. The amount of galaxies, quasars, and just crazy stuff, solar systems, it's just absolutely insane. Let me see if I can just get it all in here. I don't know if I got the whole thing. There we go. To me, I just look at that and I go, are you serious? I mean, it's just crazy, the amount of stuff that's out there. All these little dots. Could be way, way in the background. Could be other solar systems and, just, I don't know. I mean, look at it. They say there's no way there could be life out there. It's just us. Come on. I look at this and I say to myself, yep. One thing I've always questioned, here's the thing. If I'm looking at, let's say, a dot here on the left-hand side, let's say right here, left-hand side, almost in the upper left corner, we look at this little dot and we say, okay, so now they're looking at it, and they're looking at it with a spectrometer and stuff like that. Okay, how many miles is that away to begin with? How is it not influenced by maybe a magnetic field or maybe gases or something other or a light source from another planet influencing their information? How do they know that? You know, maybe it was a lot closer, and they can, and this planet, so to speak, or solar system is off in the distance where there's not a cluster of planets before, or on the side rather, and behind it, and not being influenced. I get that. But how do you do that, like millions and billions of miles away, light years away, and say, oh, by the way, that planet's got no life on it? You know, I understand the technology, I get it, but to a certain degree, you know as well as I do, it's got to be influenced somehow, some way. That's just the way it is, right? I don't believe for a moment that we're the only living thing. And there's another thing I was going to show you, that it seems like the theory of panspermia is now picking up momentum as well. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'm going to show you that tab as well. And I'm a big believer in that. Now, the funny thing about it, the way they explain, is that, you know, well, we know there's been rocks from Mars. They can tell the makeup of these rocks that came from Mars. They've landed in Antarctica and all over the world, and they could tell by the air pockets and the makeup of such these little meteorites and stuff like that, because of when they did a spectrum analyzer test on the soil from Mars, so they can actually put the two and two together, and they can actually pretty much say, yeah, that's from Mars, right? So, but if you get these these rocks from other places and not Mars, let's say there's a cluster of them coming, and then maybe they're all from one area. Maybe they're a broken planet at one time from way across the galaxy, and they hit Mars and us at the same time. Or different times, because obviously one's closer than the other. So if it gets hit from Mars, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, life starts there, life starts here. Things may change. Maybe they're not exactly the same, and they don't need to be, but they change just a little bit, and yet we have life on both planets. So if that happened and the rocks came from out of our solar system, why is it impossible to have life on other planets and other solar systems? Come on. Come on. Will life be different? Sure. Absolutely. And it depends on the makeup in the atmosphere that these life forms evolve in, right? So they might change. Maybe they breathe more carbon, which sounds insane, but because we know our bodies can't handle that. But I don't know. I just find that it can change. It can be a lot like us, maybe not so much. I don't know. Can you imagine going to some of these planets, though, and finding some real weird-looking life forms that it's nothing we've ever seen before? And yet we've done this on our own planet. Just going to the deep oceans, deep caves, finding new life everywhere where we've never seen it. It's brand new life form we've never seen. You know, if you go down in the deepest oceans or in these caves, a lot of these reptiles, fish, they don't have any eyes. They don't have any need for them because there is no sunlight. You go to deepest depths of the oceans where it's completely dark, they don't need eyes. They just don't. So it's just really, really crazy, right? Thomas Rice, you said you are correct about the origins. Don't discard any possibility. The science channel will be well-produced entertainment and brainwash combined. Yeah, pretty much, right? Well, I mean, you could bet even if the snow jobbing us, right? You could bet there's going to be some truth behind that. Even if they're kind of like making some of the crap up. And you know as well as I do, if you're a pretty intelligent person, you can pretty much see through their BS. Or, gee, that sounds kind of likely. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that'd be interesting to see. James Cragen, thank you very much for your support. It is appreciated. He said, hi, Chris. Check out Jacques Vallée, new book called Trinity about their unrecorded UFO crash and how the American Army got it back in 1945 in White Sands. It seemed to me I heard something about that. Is that a new book or is that something that's been out? Because it seemed to me I heard about that before. Oh, let me see here. Got the wrong mouse here. Let's do this. Thomas, you said I agree. Chris, life is the rule, not the exception. Like I said, it could be anything from just organics. It doesn't have to be people on another planet. It could be anything. You know, to me, it just makes sense that if we're all carbon life forms and it's carbon throughout the universe, then it just makes sense. There's other life, whether it's just plants, indigenous to that planet, of course. And then, of course, maybe there's more complex life forms, right? Could be anything from reptiles to flying things. It could be anything. I don't know why that sounds so far-fetched to people. They're just like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Why not? Why does that make, how does that, like you said, how is it, not the rule? And instead it's the exception. I don't get it. For some reason, people just say, I just close my eyes to it. I just don't believe that. What's going on, Cameron? Good to see you in there. I'm doing well. Good to see you in there. Again, James, thank you very much for your support, brother. Appreciate you. Exactly, great for all. You said, now imagine the multiverse. There you go. Yeah, I mean, just crazy, right? Now, I don't know if you guys have been on the channel, but I've actually uploaded 2 videos. Now, if you're not on Lunar Anomalies and Beyond, you're probably going, what the hell happened? He hasn't posted any videos this week. Well, I have. Let me put this back on. You know, I have. I actually got 2 videos I put on there. One was 2 days ago, and the other one was just 16 hours ago, at least my time. So, yeah, if you haven't seen them, check them out. And by the way, I got a really cool one coming up, and I actually may put this on Mars Anomalies and Beyond this time, but most of them will be on this channel here, Lunar Anomalies and Beyond. Really cool stuff. If you haven't checked them out, jump over there, check them out. And if you're not subscribed to it, guys, jump on there. And like I said, I just checked out one today. Wow. You talk about the way they make everything look flat. Wait until you see this. It's like, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of like the Pueblo Indians where they built into mountains and the sides of hills and stuff like that. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of that. And the funny part about it is, when I looked at this at first, I'm saying, I'm really not seeing too much like the average person would see. And when I looked at this thing and started to darken up some of the parts of this photo, it became clear it was not level. In other words, it was not straight. Now, of course, you'll have hills and valleys, and that makes sense. But this is a lot more than a valley and a hill. Trust me. And when you look at it, you go, there's no doubt in my mind that they're building just under the surface of the moon. I mean, when you see it, you just go, wow, that's just neat. And picture like a giant opening in the surface, right? That's like here. Let's say we had an earthquake and opened up the ground. But let's say it's that fault line is no longer active, and you built inside there. Well, that's pretty much what this looks like. And when you see it, you just, at first I was just like, I see a couple things, and that's without doing anything at all to the photo. And then when I looked at it, I said, oh, wow. And then I just started going through this thing, and just everything started coming out. So, like I said, I may drop it on the Mars one, because I know a lot of people are still not subbed to this channel, so they're missing out on the ones that I have done. So, and I want everybody to see these, right? So I'm going to try to do my best to try to do a balance of it if we can. Thomas Rice, thank you very much, sir, for your support. You said, Chris, you are very appreciated. Have you looked into the crash at Cape Girardeau? No, I have not. Girardeau? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. No, I have not. If you got a link to it, Thomas, drop it. Love to see it. Check it out. But again, thank you for your support. It is appreciated, my brother. You know, like I said, when I see things here on the moon, see things on Mars, first thing I think of is there's no way our solar system is the only solar system that's ever had life on it. No way, no how. Because wouldn't that be like a one-off thing? It's like, okay, out of all of those galaxies and solar systems and everything else I showed you guys, we're the only one, guys. We don't know how life got here, but it started here. Come on. You know, so at some point, you know as well as I do, there's much more life out there. And I think we're aware of it. That's why I said I don't think it matters if we're the one that built these UFOs and we've gotten so sophisticated that we built like the Tic Tac. That's awesome, because now we can fly to these places and see them. And maybe these other alien species doesn't know we're equipped yet. And I don't mean all of them, because I'm sure they're aware of it. But if there are, you know, alien species, they know it, that we probably are going to be spacefaring. And if we're not already, I'm pretty sure we are. But here's the thing. Can you imagine if they're not aware of us and we just start flying throughout everywhere and looking at, oh, wow, look, there's alien structures here and this is a city and a whole world of different beings here. That would be interesting. You know, so now we have a true Star Wars going on. Of course, it don't have to be actually wars going on, but, you know, checking out other galaxies, visiting other planets, and so on and so forth. That would be pretty interesting. I think so anyway. And I know I even said space wars, but I think it's, you know, it's, again, here we go with the space race, guys. It's all about going to the moon again. It's all about going to Mars. Who can get what? Who can get a piece of what? And that's what it comes down to. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but when you look at China, was it China or Russia getting together? China wants to build their own space station around, well, they want to build their own here around the orbit of Earth, but I think they want to build one also around the moon. And, of course, they want to build a base, and, of course, they want to do it with Russia. So it's like, what's the big deal here? What is going on? And I think, if we've already been there first, like you get the first pickings, like the first vultures, you get in there and pick everything out of there and then let the other, countries have at it. We've already got the top technology out of it. So, and the only way you'd be able to do that is if you already been there before, have your own base up there already, and taken everything you need to take and then brought it back here to Earth. Think about it. So that's why I think they never stopped going after these Apollo missions, right? Tony Gibbs, you said 2 new moon vids are great just in the last couple of days. Yeah, I figured I had a couple of those, and then again I have the third. So I said, you know what? I know you guys love these. So, yep, got another one for you guys. And then I have another one, like I said, and I'm going to bring that one. Like I said, I may drop that one on Mars Anomalies. But like I said, if you're not actually, jumped on Lunar Anomalies and beyond, go ahead and do that and subscribe to the channel, right? And like I always say in my videos, make sure you hit that notification bell. Because some people say, I don't even get, notified. As soon as you hit that notification bell, just see a little drop-down box, hit all. Because if you don't, there's a good chance you will not be able to see the notifications. In fact, it was the person I was going back and forth. Remember, we had that thing going on where I was literally looking at the amount of people viewing the channel, and it was dropping. And the thumbs up were dropping. It was just weird. And they told me, there's a good chance that, and in fact, they told me there was 20 to 30, at least 20, 30% people didn't tick the all box. And that's what the issue was. That's why people weren't getting notified. I don't think that's the only reason. Come on, let's be honest. The other thing I found interesting is you can only see there's 6,330 subscribers on this channel, yet look how many views I get in a couple of days. Look at the ratio of views from there. Like I said, this one here, the Apollo 17 Simple Footprints or Alien Objects, 1,400 in 2 days, which I don't expect a lot. There's only 6,000 viewers. Subscribers rather. But look at the ratio. Now I go to my Mars Anomalies, and there's 61,000, and yet you only get 5,000 views. Well, within 2 or 3 days you get more than that, but you know what I'm saying. You'd think it would be a lot more, a better ratio. It just doesn't make sense. So it's almost like they're stifling the numbers. I don't know. It's just weird. Ricardo, yeah, I know, Ricardo. Ricardo probably messed you all up, didn't it? He said, hi, Chris and gang, time change, caught me out. Yeah, it's just for today, because like I said, at my job, I've got, there's a hunger fight going on to support local pantries and stuff like that to feed people who can't eat, and some churches. So, I'm going to jump off of this right around 5:30-ish. So, this is the reason why I figured I'd start a little early, just for today, just this week, and then go from there, right? So, but glad to have you in there anyway. Stephen Porter, you said, good evening, Chris. It's been a long time since I managed to catch you live due to time difference. I hear you, Stephen. Yeah, I tried to, accommodate everybody. But it's impossible. It's kind of like what is a good time for you is not going to be good for somebody in New Zealand or in Australia, things like that. So you try to get a happy medium so you can get everybody on board if you can, because I know all you folks are over the big pond there and around the world. It's tough for everybody to get right in there. At a certain time, and I understand that, So, yeah, I do my best to try to get people in there if I can. Yep, Lionheart Glassworks, you said censorship. Pretty much. Great for All says, I wonder just how many alien species are visiting us. Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. We don't know. And let's say for argument's sake, none of them are. But we're getting the technology enough to be able to go out there now. So we'll be able to visit a lot more and see things we probably never, ever dreamt of seeing. Of course, you may get yourself into trouble. And, yeah, let's say you can fly with, with ease and, anti-gravitics and stuff like that, and go way out there and look at other planets. Can you imagine that? And then you come up to a planet, you go, okay, they seem a little hostile that we're looking at them. Yeah, you could bring them back here. So that may not be a good thing, but I don't know. It's all kind of crazy. It's all new, so it's pure speculation at this moment, right? What could happen, what could possibly happen. Although you can't always think bad either. It might be just all good. You finally, meet an alien race that's actually good people. We don't know. And like I said, I don't believe any of them are really hostile per se, because they would have killed us off a long time ago, especially before we had any of our technology we have today, right? Because we had crude everything back in the day. So if they were going to do anything to us, they would have done it a long time ago. Blue Sky, what's going on? Said hi. Almiri said Anunnakis came to Earth, at least according to their writings they did, right? And how they actually altered the DNA of the, Neanderthals type thing. And if you go through, their history or their writings, that's pretty much what they say. Yeah, they have, Tony. If you've seen that, you said, we need those to link up. China has already started building that thing. Yeah. If you notice, they've already got, I think, was it last week? Or this week? They already sent a rocket up there, and they're already going to start on it. Absolutely. James, thanks again for your support, as well as you, Thomas. He said, Chris, your Lunar vids this week, top of the range, man. I appreciate it, James. And again, thanks for your support. It is appreciated greatly. Blue Sky, he said, no doubt other Earth epochs have been there. 4.5 billion years? Come on. Yeah. I don't. It's just weird. It's like the line. They want to give you this kind of, timeline, if you will. 8 billion years ago or some crap. It's like, I don't believe that. I mean, I'm not saying all science is crap, because obviously, clearly it's not. But it's almost like they're not sure of the numbers, so they're just, coming up with their best numbers they can, right? For what their research has shown them. But I don't know. When I see like things on the moon, and I see things, wait until you see some of the things that are in this next moon video. Oh my God. Really cool. I'll actually give you guys a little pieces. I want to show you the photo we're going to be looking at. Just a little teaser right here on this photo. And what's really unique about it, let me get this, because this will jump on. You guys will be able to see this. Well, no, I'm not even in the way anyway. But anyway, you'll see this. In fact, let me do this. Let me just make this bigger, like I did in the last video. But don't think for a moment these are just small, you can see a crater here in the middle, and you can see one off to the side. There's like maybe 2 or 3 of them there. And then most of it just looks like kind of like little hills and stuff like that. Oh, there's much more there. much there. Much there. It's crazy just how much is in this photo. So, little sneak peek. Here it is right here. Why some scientists believe life may have started on Mars. And of course, I was just telling you guys about that, how they're talking about how meteors from out of the solar system either crashed into Mars and Earth, or something happened on Mars and, just catastrophic event. And of course, rocks come off of the Martian surface out into space. And of course, it makes its way down here. And of course lands on Earth, and this is how life started here. At least that's the theory of panspermia. So they believe life started somewhere else, and that's how it got here on Earth. Is that a possibility? Sure. Absolutely strong possibility, in fact. So, said though the idea that life started on Mars before migrating on Earth sounds like some far-fetched sci-fi premise, many renowned scientists take the theory seriously. The general idea of life starting elsewhere in space before migrating here has a name, too, panspermia. It's a hypothesis that life exists elsewhere in the universe and is distributed by asteroids and other space debris. So that's pretty much the theory. And it doesn't sound far-fetched at all. But if that happened, and if that is the case, then there's life on other planets. It's as simple as that. So, I mean, how many times has something maybe hit Earth? Same thing, have ejected, go out into space, and end up on another planet in our solar system. So is it possible like a chain reaction? At one point, again, we're a binary star system, so we had 2 suns. If that's the case, then the outer planets, or the planets away from our star that's currently burning, our sun, is it possible that the other ones way back past Pluto, well, Pluto's not considered a mountain. I was going to say a mountain because I'm over here looking at this thing here. Not considered a planet anymore, but a simple rock or a body out in the solar system. But now they're saying there's more, planets in our solar system. So if the sun was active and burning, the other sun was, then we would have been warmer on that end of the solar system as well. Is it possible as a chain reaction with life? We don't know that. We just think we know. We have no idea. I think we're just, science is what they've researched. This is the best hypothesis they come up with so far. And I don't think it's wrong, but I think there's a lot more to it, I'll jump all the way to the bottom here. So if I missed anybody's, please forgive me and just go ahead and write it again. Across on Mars picture is a plant. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yes, Austin Krabs. Yep. By the way, good to see you in there. Octopus. They always say that thing's some kind of alien creature as well. And I know they break that thing down and they talk about, how they believe that it is. So it's really, really neat. And you can see it right here, folks. They said the evidence starts with how space debris moved around in our young solar system. Indeed, we have evidence of an exchange of rocks from Mars to Earth. Martian meteorites have been found in Antarctica and across the world, an estimate of 159, according to the International Meteorite Collectors Association. So, yeah. Really, really cool. I believe that, that's a very good possibility. Did a comet strike 13,000 years ago change human civilization as we know it? And what's really funny about this thing, well, it's actually kind of cool too, is the way they talk about it. It's like, did it change the way, I think they were talking about, I can't get it out, Neolithic period. Now, the way they're talking about it says, this work builds on previous research that has suggested that a significant impact may have preceded the beginning of the Neolithic period, the first part of the Stone Age, in which a number of major developments in human civilization took place, including notable steps forward in agriculture, architecture, and stone tools. But isn't that kind of weird? Where have we heard that story? Was it a meteorite, or was it like we were talking about, the Anunnaki? According to their writings, they came here and they taught. Like a lot of the gods, if you look at the Bible, and you look at every, religious book, they all talk about their gods, how they came down from heavens and they taught us agriculture and stuff like that. Is it that and they're just putting this in its place? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, folks? What do you guys think happened? Oh, did you find it, Joss? You said the U.S. government report is just now on their website. Really? You ain't got a link to that, do you? Drop a link somewhere. Check it out. Yeah, you were just saying that, Josh. The U.S. government report is now, just now they put it on their website. Imagine that. To Krabs, you said, yes, they believe octopus, etc., are extraterrestrial. Yeah, and I've watched something about that, how they talked about how they believe that they are, just the way they function, just the way they are, right? Just really weird creatures. Christine Ingram, what's going on? Good to see you in there. You're talking to Lionheart. You said with how many times aliens have visited, if they were hostile, this planet would be void of humans. They are and always have been watchers of this planet. Well, let's just suppose, and I think we talked about this before, another alien race comes here, sees us. But they look at the planet and they go, well, a bunch of barbarians on this planet, but here's the kicker. Even if they were to wipe us out, would they do that? Because how do we know the atmosphere is good for them? I mean, they could take a quality, like a atmosphere quality test or air quality and say, wow, there's all kinds of germs and everything else. It would definitely kill us. Or just the volume of oxygen and, what makes up our atmosphere, would it be deadly to them as opposed to where they live? And vice versa. If we went to their planet, of course, this is all hypothetical, right? But if we went to their planet, would we be able to breathe the air? Is there any air? So We don't know if they live underground. They live in domes, and they've got their own atmosphere production, and it's just perfect for them. Terraform, maybe underground, on that planet, whatever it may be. How do we know? A lot of questions to ask because it's worth asking, as far as I'm concerned. Equalizer, he said, I'm sure that they were extraterrestrial, the gods. Well, again, I said this a million times. Again, if you go back to even prior, what could be around Egyptian times, or way prior to that, you've seen something flying in the sky, it lands. First of all, you're going to say, what is that? We're used to seeing birds, and that's it. And insects, of course. But this thing comes out of the sky, lands on the ground. People like ourselves, similar, come out, and they talk to you and everything else. There's no doubt about it. You're going to see superiority right off the bat. You're going to pray to them. You know, like I said, we had these cargo cults, you know, back in World War II, where, you know, the army and these other forces were on that one island, and these indigenous people seen everything they did. They studied everything they did, and they were getting free food from them. So I guess they said, well, while we're occupying this island, why don't we help out the natives here and, you know, give them food and stuff like that. When they left, they literally built airplanes out of bamboo and stuff like that and built a small runway, and they kept praying to it. To them, the army people were gods, and they're praying that they came back. Because they not only gave them things, but it's something they've probably never seen before in their lives. And when they see this, think about this. If we were to see, again, back before Egyptian times, and you stumbled on an area where these, well, supposed alien beings were, they're just us on the planet, but you've never seen anything like it, what would you do? I would think, oh my God, are these normal people? Are these an alien race? What are they? You just don't know. So again, these cargo cults popped up out of nowhere because they were basically worshiping what they seen, and they tried to replicate it. And it makes perfect sense. If I seen something back in the day, long before, well, around the Egyptian time or well before, I would think they're gods. They're supreme beings because they have the gift of flight. And then when they come out and they show you, this is how you agriculture. This is how you create structures. Could be simple structures, not the point. Build this way. Do this. Egyptians talk about how their overseers helped them build the Egyptians. Yes, they were built by man. But according to them, it was the overseers that showed them how to do it. Who are these overseers? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who are these overseers? I mean, who knows, right? Yeah. Exactly, Tony. You said Eric von Daniken started a lot of this from studying the Bible and applying logic, spinning wheels, roaring sounds. He created his whole career questioning. Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, the way they talk about how they were up in the firmament, remember? It was taken up into the firmament, up into the sky, looking down onto the planet. Well, how did he manage to do that? Were they just like floating around like little floating spirits? Or I think it was the book of Ezekiel. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong on this. But he goes up there in this craft. I think he called it something a little different. But he learned all of the people's names on board this craft. And he knew them by name. And each one of them taught him something different. Agriculture, architecture, language, so on and so forth. Was he making this crap up? Or did this actually happen? I don't think there's any sci-fi writers back then, folks. I don't think so. So it makes you wonder, what were they talking about? And it's not the only good book, we'll call it, that talked about their gods coming down from the heavens and teaching them stuff. What is it? Is it all just false? Was it faked? Noodles, you said, when Earth governments agreed, long ago, aliens are real, we built 200 nuclear reactors so that if our solar system fails, the meltdowns will mean no planet for anybody. That's, yeah, like somebody else was just saying a good, hypothesis. I mean, it's a good possibility. Of course, we know how we are. We're just warmongers anyway. So there's a good chance that's what they were built for, just to blow up the other country, which wouldn't make any sense, because if you really think about it, it's like, oh, I'm going to blow you up, I'm going to push this button. Well, then you might as well kiss your own butt goodbye, because it makes no darn sense, you know? This thing just jumped on me here. Tony said all really advanced people and or crafts are going to be magic and or gods to people who can't grasp the concepts. Exactly. Because again, it's not something you've ever seen before. So now when this thing comes down, you're just like, what do we make of this? First of all, fear sets in. Secondly, you're just going to like bow down because you're afraid these things coming down from the sky is going to probably kill you. And then you find out, oh, they're actually friendly. They're not going to kill us all off. And then they teach you all of these things that you need to know. And it helps leapfrog you into your future, meaning you accelerate from knowledge, and there you go, right? So it kind of makes perfect sense. Enoch. Thank you, Equalizer. Yep, it is written in the book of Enoch. It was actually both of them were equally intriguing, I think. Robert Morgan says the same thing. It was Enoch. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Because I was trying to remember which one it was. I didn't know if it was. I don't remember if it was Enoch or Ezekiel. But either way, I think you got it with Ezekiel and the teachers that came down to earth. I spelt my bear. Damn it. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. But yeah, I mean, regardless of that, every time you read some kind of crazy religious book, that's what they talk about. You know. It's, yeah. Kylie said, what you're talking about is based on fact. Well, I mean, according to these writings, you know, again, it'd be one thing if you got jokesters today, right? They're just writing this stuff, and you could tell it's not like millions of years ago, I shouldn't say million, but thousands of years ago. Then you know it's probably faked. But if you go back to these things, and they were untouched at one point, and these, you know, again, they're not sci-fi writers, so again, they felt it was paramount importance to either, you know, sketch in, you know, carve, Sanskrit, I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. They put it in writing because they felt is of great importance to them. Hence the reason why we have these stories. So, exactly, Elaine. It's perfect. Elaine said, try to describe a spaceship landing, taking off, without using any modern-day words. You'd use words like chariots, dragons, metal birds, even flying carpets, spitting fire at night, smoking at day. Exactly right, and that's what they actually described it, because they didn't know. They were just like, oh, you know, giant bird, steel bird, or whatever, because they didn't know. They didn't know, oh, that's a UFO. That's what it was, unidentified, yeah. But I would identify it. It's a flying disc. Or if it was something else, elongated flying object. I mean, or bird. But either way, you know, they didn't know. They just described it the best way they could. And they just felt it important to write it. And I wouldn't blame them. It makes perfect sense. You can see how their engineers at NASA Kennedy Space Center in Florida are preparing the next step in the assembly of the Space Launch System rocket, or the SLS rocket, that will power the unmanned Artemis 1 test flight to the moon later this year. So here we go, folks, accelerating. You notice how it's just like compounding acceleration. It's just getting going. And that's what it's all about. Massive plume of Saharan dust crosses the Atlantic. It's not the first time this has happened. Of course, this is just, yesterday when they put this up. And you can see where I got that photo right there. See-through galaxy captured by Hubble. Yeah. The galaxy discovered in 2018 is about as wide as the Milky Way, but contains only about 0.5% of amount of stars. And they're talking about the NGC. You can see right here, the Hubble Space Telescope captured new images of strange see-through galaxy named NGC 1052-DF2 that appears to lack dark matter. And of course, the galaxy discovered, blah, 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 blah. The galaxy has no visible light center or structure and is so diffused that more distant galaxies can be seen through it, which is really insane. But, yeah. Oops! Ingenuity did it again. Of course, this is 3 days ago. Ingenuity helicopter captured its own shadow during its 8th successful flight on Mars, which took place on Monday, June 21st. The 4-pound, 1.8 kilogram drone flew for 77.4 seconds during the flight, crossing a distance of 160 meters, and landed at a new landing spot about 133.5 meters from the Perseverance rover, NASA said on Twitter. Pretty interesting. I'm just wondering how far that's off the ground. Notice how you can see the shadows pretty crisp and everything else, and the ground yet is just crap. Just absolute crap. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you can already see blur around this. Right here. Right in this whole area is all blurred out. Of course, it is a low-res photo, you can tell. So that may have something to do with it. Grab that photo, guys. Put it in Photoshop. Because you can almost bet somehow there's something on that ground. Again, sanitized, just like I just did in that moon video, the last one. Completely sanitized. It's crazy. Again, they make everything whitened up so you can't see any kind of difference in height and terrain and the dip in the terrain and stuff like that. You don't see any of that. Why? They don't want you to see what's really there. It's as simple as that. Looks like a giant dragonfly. Only with funky looking legs. Anyway, so pretty interesting. Let's see. Cosmic crash captured by Hubble triggers intense star formation. Oh, yeah. It's ever-changing, folks. Ever-changing. If you drink coffee, you may find your coffee going through the roof, or you may find it's going to get a lot more expensive. Worst drought spell of decades decimates Brazil's coffee production. So, if you are a coffee drinker, my condolences to you. You may get hit in the shorts when it comes to buying this stuff again. So, get it while you can. Before it really does go through the roof. Astronaut Thomas Pesquet, riding the rover on an arm during the spacewalk, which is kind of funky. I like the way they did that. You can see how they got him right on the end of this, basically the arm. Just have him like little platform right there. Yeah. And got him strapped. It's actually bracketing because you can see that. You guys see that? You can see the hardware on both sides. There's steel bolts, screws and stuff like that with these clamps. Pretty interesting. But they brought that up there. I guess it would probably save time and less chance of him getting, like, yeah, thrown out into space. So, yeah. It's amazing how clear these photos can look. But when it comes to Mars and stuff, I just can't quite get it, guys. Sorry. So, a little small, I just forgot. So we can see a little bit more of that. Jay McCuffey said, and that's the way our ET overseers would like it to stay. Well, do they want us to progress or not? And that's the key word, right? I think it depends on solely us. Because to me, I would see how they work out. It's kind of like if you're an employer, even though it's kind of a weird way to put it, an analogy. Because if you're an employee, you're going, okay, you're there doing some kind of interview, and you know the guy looks like he could like blow his head right off his own body and freak out at any given time. You're like, I'm more apt to not hire this guy. Maybe the other guy who's laid back, very knowledgeable, so on and so forth. I think we'll go with him instead. It's kind of like if they seen us and, you know, we finally started getting our crap together, you know, would they then welcome us? Sure. But you got to get along with each other first. There's no way. Because they're going, listen, if they can't even get along with themselves now, if we were to introduce ourselves, meaning, and they probably already have to the elites, but if they were to the general public, they're probably thinking, are you kidding me? These people would murder us like within seconds if we landed on the ground. Unless, of course, they went out of their way to show how peaceful But people would still have doubts. It's like, because you, again, even though you see sci-fi movies, to see something in real life is totally different, right? You'd be thinking, okay, there's a spacecraft. They're saying they're friendly, but are they really? Why? Because the first thing you think of, Independence Day movies of that sort, you're thinking, no, they're here to eat us all or slave us or whatever it may be. Who knows? I mean, Yeah, I know what you meant. Elaine, you said spitting, not splitting. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Yep, West, you said get your ass to Mars. Yep. Oh, yeah. Kyle, you were saying the same thing. Get your butt to Mars. Arnold Schwarzenegger was very funny. Yeah, get to Mars. But yeah, I mean, again, there's got to be a reason why everybody's rushing there. It just, there's got to be something there, and maybe, who knows, maybe at one point, NASA says, oh yeah, maybe they decided, oh yeah, all your other countries should get in on this. You should check this out because there's some crazy things going on. After they've already done their recon and pretty much scavenge up all the information they need to know about these things. Who knows, right? Bush Corey, what's going on? He said, I got tickets to Angels and Airwaves, so I'll ask Tom DeLong what he really thinks. Yeah, there you go. What he really knows. I don't know. What's going on, Mars the Second Genesis? Didn't see creep in there. That's a good question. I would imagine it could, right? Blue Sky, you said if you treated the percolates, or perchlorates, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me make this, I usually have this a little bit bigger on the screen. Perchlorates, that's a little better. And fertilize the ground, could a rover plant a tree? I don't see why it couldn't. It gets sunshine. It can get up, especially in the summertime, it can get up to really good temperatures where you and I can walk around and, again, put the right ingredients in the ground. Why couldn't it? In fact, like I said, when they had gotten the results back from the soil from the Viking lander, and, of course, they put it into spectrum analyzers, stuff like that, and checked out the soil and everything else, they found... Well, they simulated here on Earth, and what they do is they put a little volcanic ash with it and found out it can grow much better on Mars than it can here. So, yeah. I mean, think about it. I think it could very well do that. And I'm always... How many guys out there, how many folks believe that there's already organics on Mars? I do. Absolutely believe it is. Or there is, depending on how you look at it. Kyle, thank you very much, sir, for your support. You said, I love you early this week with this sleeveless shirt showing off these muscles. Go, Chris. Well, I left that shirt over there, so the muscles are over there, too. But, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good one. I like that, Kyle. Again, appreciate your support, man. Yeah, I mean, I think there's organics there, absolutely. And I believe that there's probably insects and things flying around there because... when you see some of the photos we've seen where it looks like something's right there, and, you can say, well, maybe it's a micron of dust. That's a very good possibility because you can see like a motion blur going in a certain direction. So, but it's a little weird that there's just one micron of dust and you don't see more and just scattered all over in front of that camera, and yet you don't see that. So what's the deal? Or is it actually something flying? Rockheads, what's going on? You said those Apollo 1969 photos are so perfect compared to what we see now on Mars? ? Yeah. Why is that? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was different. It's not digital back then. It was actually analog. It was, basically film. But still, why is it that they could take such a great picture? And you know as well as I do, these things have come a lot further than these cameras that I'm talking about. come a lot further than just film and other digital cameras back in the day when they first came out. They're so much more sophisticated, and yet, we just can't seem to get a good quality photo from there, guys. You got to understand, it's from Mars. What the hell does that even mean? I mean, you can transmit a photo around the planet, which I know it's a lot less distance, and it's absolutely picture perfect. I can download any high-quality photo from friggin' Guam if they send it, and it's perfect. Just because you're doing it with radio waves doesn't mean they still can't get all the packets in and get it, and then, of course, makes this photo. And it doesn't mean it can't be crystal clear. And you and I both know it probably is, and yet we get this low-res garbage, manipulated, scented garbage photos. Derek Ballno, you said, Chris, the new season of Fortnite, the story is based on a crash UFO on Earth, and alien ships that come and try and take over the landscape. Those are definitely hinting of something to come plant seeds. Well, yeah. Never knew that. Pretty cool. Miss Haird's in there. What's going on, Miss Haird? I think I've seen you earlier, and it just jumped on me again, which I love. Yeah, I agree with you, Robert, and I believe it was Ricardo was talking about the same thing. He said, remember the crop circle said, beware of those bearing gifts. That's true. That is true. Ricardo Petrazzi, thank you very much for your support, sir. It is appreciated. You say, hey, Chris, support for you, the channel, the worthy deeds you are off to do after the show. Yes, superb Lunar and Mars vids this week. Top guy. Appreciate it, Ricardo. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to get back, obviously, to what do you call it, too, right? Mars. It's just that we went through the series of photos of the moon, and, of course, once you see these things, you're just like, I don't want to stop because I can find some crazy things in there. There was one or two of them that weren't all that great, and the way they manipulated these things, you couldn't really pull anything out of it. Like the last two moon videos I did, you could. You can see where they did, like, let's say this bottle of water and it's actually a craft laying on the lunar surface. They'll literally put like half of it black, and the other half, they'll leave it the normal color. But you can still see the square or rectangular shape. So you're going, is that it? That's where it ends? Keep looking and see the outline of it. Then you try to make the rest of it the same color what that one is, and usually they're black and white. So you try to make that one white, see if the white part of that will come out, and sure in the heck, you can make the whole darn thing come out. Sometimes not so much. Again, Ricardo, thank you. Much appreciated. I think the more you look at the moon stuff, this is the reason why I'm surprised a lot more people are not on the lunar anomalies and beyond, because I love the idea our nearest celestial body has crazy things on it. And this is what sparked everybody's interest, like NASA's, to go anywhere in our solar system because of that. They've seen this stuff up there, sent man up there, checked it all out and said, okay, this is not ours. What about the other planets? Oh, no problem. And of course they were doing this long before that. You guys know that, right? Because they were sending probes and everything else to Venus, Mars, and so on and so forth. Of course the ones that failed clearly didn't make it. But you get the idea. Finally get there. Okay, there's crazy stuff there. Okay, but first things first. We don't have the technology to go to Mars yet. Let's go to the moon and go check this stuff out. And this is what they went for. And there's an awful lot of photos showing what look like structures in them. So are they all false? I don't think so. Not my opinion. They're all real. And when you see these things, you just go, wow, they look like little cities and just together. And when I seen this other photo, this latest photo I just showed you guys, gave you a little teaser there. Yeah, wow. It's just cool. And it's actually an eerie feeling when you see some of these things. You go, okay, how big are they? And, are they still active? Are they, I would think they'd still be active, because here's the thing. If you live under the surface, what's the chances of you getting, some kind of catastrophe that's going to kill you off? Now, could you get a large rock that could slam that part where you live under? Sure. But they already said that the outer skin, so to speak, is actually pretty darn tough. Like I said, I remember a while back where somebody had taken a video. They had a telescope looking at the moon, and you can see something come off the left and literally slam into. It's like skimming a rock across the water. It did the same thing on the lunar surface. Boom! You can literally see a bounce. Where they zoomed into the video, you can see poof, like plumes of like sand being kicked up and dust until it finally went off the other side of the moon. I'm going, what the heck was that? It's just the way it come in. Absolutely perfect. Made a dent in the actual ground, and off the other side of the moon it went. I was like, wow, that's neat. And crazy at the same time, right? Julia. It's good to see you in there, Julia. You got mail. Well, let's see. Let me see here. But, so, what do you guys think? Do you think they seen things on Mars before they seen things on the moon, or vice versa? You know, I'm going to say the moon, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, the only reason why I say the moon is because, again, it's our closest celestial body. And any crude, telescope could have seen that. So I think that would probably be the best answer. But is that the right answer? That's the difference, right? So let me see here. Yay! Derek Chauvin sentenced for 22 years. Not good. Oh, well. Oh. Okay. There it is. Talking about the preliminary assessment unidentified aerial phenomenon. And that was sent to me, Hellfire Studios. Don't need that. Get rid of that. I think what I'll do is I'll drop this for everybody to see, this link. Let me do this. Everybody can check this thing out. There it is. That's the new link. Let me see. He said there is footage of a sand creature on the moon for sure. I don't think I've seen that. Yep, Julia, I agree with you. I mean, here's the thing. Again, you're going to see things, again, even if you have a crude telescope back in the day, you'll be able to see, and I'm talking a very large one. I'm not talking about small ones like today, little rinky-dinks. Even if you talk about 14-inch telescopes, 16, it doesn't matter. Compared to what these observatories have, they're rinky-dink, right? They're toys. And, you know, if you had something that's an observatory where you can actually see these things, you're looking at these, oh, guys, look at this. That don't look like a mountain. That's not a mountain to me. No, and, you know, of course, again, you know, once they check it out more and more, they send an orbit around there, map the moon several hundred times. They know everything there is on that moon. Okay, what's the best spot to land? Well, let's just keep it on. This looks like a perfect one right here. Let's do that. And, of course, you know, they made the missions and off they went. So, to me, it makes more sense that I think they went there. Clearly, these are not ours. Look at the other places now, the other moons, planets, and everything else. And it's just started from there. Just snowballed. And now if you notice that there's a craft going to every darn moon, planet, or a plan to go, and there's got to be a reason for it. It's one thing to say, yeah, well, you know, we're kind of like, we're just inquiring minds. We want to see what this moon is made out of, which we pretty much took how many samples according to NASA? Yeah. And then, you know, we still want to go up there and look at more moon rocks. Go figure, right? But now we want to use the helium-3. We want to use for fuel because there is water on the moon too, right? Okay, so we look at the things on Mars. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. If we're seeing things on the moon, they're not ours. Clearly, if there's anything on any of these other planets, clearly they're not ours either. We didn't have the technology to go back then. So there you go. And that's how it started. And people just went absolutely crazy with it. And there's, so it's like throwing meat in front of a real angry and hungry lion. Yeah. Ricardo, he said, I think the Lunar Anomalies and Beyond channel needs a 5-second promo clip at the stop. I was thinking about that because I've got one for the other one. I've just basically got a montage of things on Mars Anomalies. So, yeah, I thought about doing that. We may actually do that. I have already had that in my thoughts. Hellfire Studios, thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Say, hey, Chris, I sent the UAP report to your AOL. Yes, and I just put the link up here. I do appreciate that, Hellfire. Much appreciated. So people can check that out for themselves. Julia said, I wish I could stay, but 2 p.m. middle of the day, my day. Love you and all your peeps so much. Same right back at you, Julia. Appreciate you. Love you too. And, just keep doing what you're doing. I know you're rocking it out there. I was going to email you yesterday, in fact. And there was something about that video that was posted on another, that Antarctica piece that I had done for you and, I'm trying to think here. Was it that same site? Who was that sent you that? Trying to remember his name. Oh, 6. Was it 6? He said something about that video was put on another site. Yeah, so if you don't have a problem with it, I don't. Because like you told him, the more this information gets out, the better it is. So, yeah. I don't have a problem with it either. As long as it gets out and it's not being twisted and turned, it's just there. And I was going to go ahead and text you or write you and tell you that and let 6 know as well. I'm glad he's actually watching out for that, though, because he was like, oh, and I never even knew that was even up there. But I don't have a problem with it as long as the information's getting out, and that's what it was all about, right? I think it was 6. Let me see. Ricardo, I'm not a number, I'm a free man. Remember that? Yeah, I think he also, I don't know if you're still in there, Julia, but I remember him saying that, oh, we haven't heard much from you and stuff like that. And, I felt the same way, but I know you're very busy. And like I said, I think it's important anyway for you and Sarah's work to get out. And so I don't have a problem with it. As long as you don't, I don't. And I know you said something about him. You said, well, I'm just glad Chris is not all over me because I haven't gotten this out yet. Like I said, good work takes time. I don't have a problem with it. I'm sure everybody would like to see the Antarctica work that you got in store. But everybody's patient. We're cool. Like I said, when it's all said and done, it'll look great. I'm sure of it. You already gave me tidbits of it. So, and a couple pitches, which is a couple I'm itching to get out. Those are cool. Remember that one up on the top of the mountain? Yeah. So we won't say any more about it. But, yeah. Just, let us know. Stay in touch. Good. Always good to see you in there and hear from you. Do 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 do. Rockhead, you said Hancock sucks. What a liar he is. I saw that the photo. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Yep, Lee Herring. I'm a free man. Ha 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 ha. Maybe laughs at him. Good shiznat. Yeah, Kyle, you're saying the same thing. He likes to get the information out, so please share the videos. Well, I mean, we're talking about, there was that Antarctica video that I put together, I call it a scrolling book, that Sarah's thesis was based on, and of course Julia was a big help with her and helped her out equally. So, props go to both of them. And, as far as I'm concerned, much love to both of them. Of course, in memory of Sarah. But as long as they weren't decimating or screwing with the photo, I don't have a problem with it. I think the information needs to get out anyway, and it was a great thesis. And like I said, all I do is just put it in like a scrolling book so people could read it. And so I'm glad people are sharing it. And as long as it's not, like I said, they're not crapping on it or anything like that, I don't have a problem with it. And as long as Julia doesn't, because she's the one that's really has to say, yeah, I'm okay with it or I'm not, because I'm not the one that's sharing it to that site, right? So if somebody else is doing it, then we'd have to pursue it if she wasn't happy about it. But like I said, as long as they're not messing with the video, I don't have a problem with it. Get the information out. That's what it's all about, right? Josh D said the report basically says UAP are registered by all sensor type. Some show unusual flight profile and tech they not know what it is. I mean, I don't know what other tech you could have other than these things are flying erratically or in movements we can't do. And of course the shape of these things, right? They look like the giant Tic Tac and so on and so forth. So I don't know. Let me see. All right. Do. I think a lot of things changed us big time, right? So did a comet strike 13,000? Yeah, that's insane. So I think a lot of things happened in our past, and I think we're just finding this out. I think, what do you guys think? Do you think the actual government or the elites know exactly how we originated here? Do they have like information that might have been written down at some point that they're only privy to, and they know exactly what our origins are? Or do you think they're basically like infants like we are, just learning how to crawl and finding out everything about ourselves and our neighborhood? What do you guys think of that? There's so much of our history we just don't know about, guys. Come on, let's be honest here. Alien Views, what's going on? He said maybe we'll turn the moon upside down. That's a good possibility. By the way, great work on that. The one that photo you had done. You've done a reconstruction about Martine Graney's, video, or her find rather, with the people look like from Pompeii, with they're like crouched over and trying to help each other. Good work on that, by the way. Let me see here. We do that. Give me a second, folks. All right. Let me do this. If you guys haven't seen Alien Views channel, check that out. There's the link. I just dropped it at the bottom. Click on it. Subscribe to his channel. Just starting out, doing a fantastic job. And he does a reconstruction of what Martine Graney had seen, what looked like basically it looks like parents kind of thing with a small child. And they kind of crouch down, kind of like you see these figures that were from Pompeii when they got, like I said, the actual volcano pretty much killed the whole village, right? And people are stuck together, either holding each other, trying to help each other, then covering each other. Just really, really weird. And did a great job of that. And so you may want to check that out. Good stuff. Alien family found on Mars. Full disclosure, they look like us. So check him out. He's just got, let me see. I think he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. Just started out, doing a great job. Jump on his channel and subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell. Check out his new stuff. I don't think he's pumping out stuff as much as like a lot of channels, even like me. But still, good stuff. And he can tell you a little bit about his background, I'm sure, what he does and how he's able to do this. It does a really great job. I couldn't do it if I wanted to. So kudos to him for doing that. But there is the link. We do this. Make the screen bigger again. Had to make it smaller just so I can do this. Let me see if this will be too big here. Yes, it will. All right, there we go. Go back up to here. Don't want that. Back to this. Oh, you're welcome. Alien Views. Yeah, I mean, really, really good. I like that. I just happened to check it out today, and I thought you did a really good job on that because of if it's not 100%, it's like 99.9% representation of what she found and how she, how she did her enhancement. So it did a really good job on that. John White, you said, what do you guys think of remote viewing? I think it's actually pretty interesting. Like I said, there was and I forget what the gentleman's name was, where he was actually had this on a remote viewing, and I don't know if you probably heard of this yourselves, John, where they had this gentleman in there, and what they do is they gave him coordinates, and they said, we want you to go to this coordinates, longitudinal, latitudinal, check it out, tell me what you see. And of course, they never told him it was Mars. And he's just a crazy stuff he come out with. And it didn't seem like crazy, like far-fetched. It was just like the way he explained it. He said, I'm walking through these very, very tall valleys. They're extremely high, like I'm in this little valley. Well, he's little, but he's in this valley. And then at one point, they move him several places. Again, not telling him it's Mars. He said, there's these beings, they're looking at me, and they're in these structures with no roofs to them. And they all look like they're panicking and worried. And finally, one of them noticed him and started talking to him, and he said something about, well, we have a group of people set out to go find another planet because our planet's dying here, and they were waiting for their return. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Now, do I believe it 100%? Not sure, but I think it's very interesting, and I think there's a real truth to that. So yeah, that's my take. What do you guys think on that? You think remote viewing's the good stuff, or do you think it's kind of bogus? Alien Views, you said the drawing took over 20 hours. Oh, I believe that. I really do believe that. There's a lot of work involved with that. MG Toey said Adam and Eve is an allegory for Adam and evolution. Evolution. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Mimi React says, honestly, I don't mind if you only post one video per month. Don't overwork yourself. Yeah, I find myself doing that. I was just saying that yesterday. I was like, man, I need some time off. It's not so much the videos. I'd rather do the videos than actually go to work. You know what I mean? Because it's more of a passion as opposed to your work. You don't go, man, I can't wait to get up and bust my chops. You know what I mean? You don't do that. Nobody does that. You may like your job and go to it, but what would be your first passion? Something it's a great hobby of yours you enjoy doing, where it's calm, it's relaxing, or going to work and basically working yourself to death. I mean, it's a no-brainer here, right? So if I find yourself doing that, you just kind of like, I need to take a breather. And that's pretty much what comes down to. I don't care who you are. Basically, it's like two jobs. So if you're working two jobs, you can run yourself ragged. So, yeah, you got to be able to take a breather, right? David Clark says remote viewing is the real thing. Yeah, I believe it is. I think there's a lot to it. Ian, you said Elon Musk knows what's up with Mars. I'm sorry. He's way too overly dismissive. Anytime he's the subject of past martial life comes up, doesn't want to discuss it. I noticed that too. Same thing with UFOs. He's like, kind of chuckles, and it's like, wait a minute, And then remember he was on that show, and I even talked about this, where he talked about saying, they said what the Pentagon actually says about UFOs, and he's kind of like, kind of still snickering about it. It's kind of like he's going, I know the real story, they don't, kind of attitude. It's like, but he's like you said, he's too dismissive about it. And I totally agree. I just thought that was really weird how somebody who's wanting to get out of space is so brilliant. He's got a good mind, brilliant mind, and yet I don't believe any of that. I mean, really? You want to be spacefaring, but you don't believe anything out there could be, there's nothing else out there. No other alien species. I think he knows exactly what's going on and seen it for himself. And it's just like, just put it off. And it's no big deal. So he just kind of laughs about it, right? Jay McGuffey said, yes, our verifiable universe is not as clear-cut as they make it seem. I don't think so either. Can you imagine if they actually know how much is really out there? And just imagine you're privy to all this, and you just go, oh, wow, so far we've got, 325 channels, planets that have life on it. They know this. Maybe through discovery, through high-powered telescopes, you can see things flying around the planet or whatever. Can you imagine that? That would be insane. So now you want to, what do you do then? Do you turn around and go, oh, okay, so do we try to visit these planets? Because we don't know if they're hostile or not. Or do we try to get close enough to them to observe them without them noticing us? So, I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot of questions involved, you know? Let me see. Let me see here. I'm just looking up something here, folks. Hold on a second. Interesting. Sounds like a good Harley just went by. Why can I not find this? Let me see. Just bear with me here, folks. Okay, just wanted to find the channel here. I don't know why it's not on my list here. But let me see. Mars the Second Genesis wanted me to give him a shout out. Doing some pretty cool stuff. And he's doing a lot of stuff in X3D, kind of like David does. Really, really cool stuff. And I'm looking at a lot of it now. It's really, really cool. I'm going to drop the link there. You guys can check out his channel. So you get another channel to check out. You can subscribe to. There it is right there. Just drop the link. Check out his work. I think you'll find a lot of it's pretty cool. And like I said, I like the idea of having more than one channel to go to, right? And because it gives you more stuff to watch. So I think it's pretty cool. Yep, Tor, you said Cosmos is full of life. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Rocket, you said hover cars will be the next thing. Well, I mean, everything's... You guys just see the new plaid Tesla that just came out? Insane. Absolutely insane. It's like, what is it, 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds, 0 to 60. And, of course, it did a track record. I think it was... Jay Leno had done it too as well. It just shows you it's not so much the speed as much as it is the technology, right? Instant torque right off the line. You know, it depends on the software because it's like I said, I've got a fully electric car, and it's not. The software is not set up to do that. In other words, I don't just go and just take right off. It doesn't work that way. Although there's software you can change in it, I don't know if I would. And that you can make the thing twice as fast. You can literally bake the tires off the back end of the car. And it would just be a rocket. But it's nothing like a Tesla where it's super stable, heavy, wider, the whole 9 yards. So I wouldn't trust it to do that. But it just goes to show you the technology. Everything's become... There's a lot of car dealers out saying we are not doing any more. All our cars now are going to be nothing but, they're going to be all electric. And some of them will probably be hydrogen and other sources. But basically, it's going to be going to that. And, they're already coming out. In fact, I just watched, a buddy of mine was thinking about buying a brand new hybrid Mitsubishi where they're already using the solid-state batteries. I went, yes! Charge them things in like 10 minutes as opposed to lithium-ion. So, love to be able to do that and swap that out in my car. It's a thing of the past. And you can still get 300-400 miles out of a tank, so to speak, quote-unquote. So it's almost like equivalent to your car you got today. So, and I can do it in like literally 10 minutes. So, you just, off you go. I think the technology's getting there, and it's just awesome. Should have put an arrow somewhere. Just went, you are here. But, yeah. Yeah, Kyle, you're right about that. He said electric trucks go just as fast as the Lamborghini. Well, they were saying now that the plaid Tesla is now faster than the Bugatti. Now, people going, well, I mean, it's $130,000 for that car. Okay, how much is it for a Bugatti? What, are you kidding me? So, and this is a family sedan. It's not a two-seater, small little rocket. It's a family sedan. So knock it all you like, but I mean, if it can do just as fast as those cars, of course, now they sporty, can they handle like they're on rails? Probably not like the Bugatti. Not the point. I can go out, if I had the money, I could just go out and just buy one and just zip around the streets and have a great time with it. $130,000 is a lot cheaper than buying a Bugatti, that's for sure. That's right, too. And well, in other countries, too, right, Tony? He said if we stop... need lithium, maybe we will finally get out of Afghanistan. Exactly. Snaggletooth 1351 may as well run on methanol V8. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's just like the technology's come so far. Now, people who are just gearheads, like, I'm a gearhead, but I'm also I'm basically a techie nut. So I can go either way. Love snapping gears, love sound of horsepower, but I also love the idea of just simplicity, and I love the idea of just the performance that come out of these cars. It's neck snapping. And, some people hate the idea of these things are coming out and beating, combustion engine cars. Okay, why are you so butthurt about it? If anything, I'd sell my damn drag car and go out and get one of these Teslas and be like, it's faster than my car. I mean, what's the point? And I can drive my whole family around in it. So where's the downside to that? It's like, honey, I'm going to go take the hot rod. Okay. Yeah, by the way, we were going to the park today. I mean, you can literally get in your own car, go down to the park and be just as fast, if not faster, than your dragster you put on the strip. Now, is it the fastest thing on the planet? No, it said fastest sedan, or, well, they kind of made a mistake. It said fastest production car. But what they didn't put, they should have labeled it better, like four-door sedan family car, because it's not the fastest car as far as production-wise. But it might as well be. It's as simple as that, right? Well, it's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Remember those? Oh, yeah. Kyle says 1.8 seconds is effing flying. You got that right. Well, it's just a G-force, man. Just put on your body. Just it doesn't sound like it's it's just the way it just throws you back in the seat, just pins you in there. I'm going to call it Lapis because as far as I don't want to ruin your name there. But he said they had electric cars in 1900. Yes, 1890 to be exact. 1890, 1893, something like that, had their first electric car. And that was I mean, don't get me wrong, they're crude. You could barely go anywhere with them. But still, nonetheless, they had that back then. And, of course, they had the EV1 back in, 2000, 2001, General Motors. And you can look up who killed the electric car, and it'll tell you everything about the EV1. The car was way ahead of its time, folks. If they had let it go, they would have had every car on the road would be pretty much electric now and be so sophisticated because even back then, that little car, the EV1, you just nailed the gas pedal. That thing would squall tires. It was a good little car. They said, well, the batteries weren't as efficient. True. But it doesn't mean if they didn't stay on that it wouldn't have been so efficient like it is today. I mean, we went from lithium, now we're going solid state. So we can stop digging up lithium, solid state, charge it, boom, you're done, have a great day. It's still a whole lot faster than lithium-ion batteries. Makes perfect sense. Anyway, Anyway, folks, I'm going to jump on off this thing. I told you it'd be around 5:30ish. It's right around that time, a little after that. So great time with all you, and good to spend at least a little time with this. I want to at least do that because I enjoy being here on Friday evenings and with all you fine folks, and that's what I like to do. So if you haven't checked out the other 2 moon videos, jump on Lunar Anomalies and Beyond and check it out. I think you guys will like it because I'm sure some of you are scratching your head going, well, why he doesn't have any videos out this week? So what's going on? Did he take a vacation? No. That's actually the 3rd week in July, by the way. God knows I need it. But the thing is, it's like, I just made 2 of those. I was just on the roll, and I decided to put a couple of them up there. And like I said, this one here may or may not be on Mars Anomaly. So go ahead and subscribe to the other one so you'll be notified of that video if I put it on there as well. But I'm going to jump off this thing. Everybody have a great evening, great weekend coming up. I know I'm going to try to. And just everybody be safe out there, right? So anyway, much love to all of yous. Everybody be safe. We'll talk to you soon. It's about 37. We'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll kill the feed. Everybody have yourself a good one. Peace.